Have you ever had to restore a large-scale S3 bucket or Azure Blob storage container? If you have, you know it's not hours, but days that we're talking about here. Millions of objects, API limits, throttling, and worst of all, you can't control what comes back first. So while all your data protection solution's doing is parsing through archive data and pictures of last year's holiday party, your CEO is waiting on critical files for a board meeting, and that's a problem. In this video, I'm going to show you how Rubrik's prioritized recovery lets you take control and restore what matters first. Let's get into it. Hi everyone, I'm Mike Preston, Technical Marketing Architect here at Rubrik. Today, I'm going to show you prioritized recovery for S3 and Azure Blob storage, a feature that allows you to instruct Rubrik what matters most, so you can get your critical data restored first and get your business back online. And if you want to follow along and see it for yourself, I'll drop a link to our hands-on lab in the description. So with that, let's just dive in. So here we are in Rubrik, and I've got this S3 bucket here that I want to recover. Now today we're using AWS, but do know this feature is also available for your Azure Blob storage accounts as well. Anyways, as normal, I'll select my point in time here from the intuitive calendar view, and I'm going to choose to recover the entire bucket. Now here's where it gets interesting. You'll notice we now have two options. We have standard recovery. This restores the entire bucket as you'd expect, no prioritization, just randomly restores objects back to the hyperscaler. But we also have prioritized recovery. Here we can specify exactly what data we'd like recovered first. So let's select this one and we'll click next. And this is really where the magic happens. We can easily define glob patterns to tell Rubrik exactly which objects should be recovered first. I'm going to go ahead and add a pattern here that's going to recover all of my PNG files that start with P00. So this is going to prioritize all of my product images that I use for my website. These are important items that I'd like to have back first. Now I can add a second pattern, so let's go ahead and say, okay, everything in the branding folder, we'll go ahead and recover that first as well. Now you can add up to 10 patterns here, so you do have a lot of flexibility to express exactly what matters most to you or your organization. Now, before we move on, I'm going to go ahead and click the preview button. And here we get a snapshot of exactly which objects matched my patterns. This is a great sanity check before you kick off an actual recovery. So make sure you got all the right things captured. And in this case, everything looks right. So I'm confident. So let's go ahead and back out and click next. Now we choose simply where to send the recovered data. We can export this to a new S3 bucket, and that bucket can even be in a different account or a different region, which is great for things like recovery testing or migration. But we can also recover in place, so that's directly back to the original bucket. I'm going to go ahead and select that today and kick off the recovery. Now, with that running, let's head over to the events so we can kind of watch this in action. Now, you can see the recovery job here is running. The prioritized objects, our branding data, our product images, these are all being restored first. Once these are complete, Rubrik will automatically continue with the remainder of the bucket in the background. No manual intervention needed. Your application can be back online while the rest of the data catches up. Now, one thing that you might be wondering is, what if I only want to recover the prioritized objects and nothing else? Maybe I don't need the full bucket back. I just want those specific files. Well, I've got good news for you. We've implemented this same glob patterning into our object level recovery as well. So if I go back and start a new recovery here, this time I'm going to choose to recover individual objects instead of the full bucket. Now, if we look at the options we have here, again, I can manually drill through and select exactly what I want, or I can use that same glob pattern matching. Same approach that we just saw, but this time only the matched objects will be recovered, nothing else. So whether you need the whole bucket back in the right order, or you just need specific objects fast, Rubrik gives you the control to do it either way. And that is prioritized recovery for S3 and Azure Blob storage, available right now in Rubrik. If you want to learn more, check out the links in the description below. And if you found this useful, give us a like, a subscribe. We put out new demos and deep dives regularly. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.